Welcome to Checks and Balances. I'm Vincent. This is James Blair. And this week's topic, the sprint.
So today's topic, the sprint, Michael, is one that we talk a lot about with clients in webinars that we run. So we thought we'd do a nice punchy episode. Our episodes have been running longer and longer over time. So we're going to really condense it. Yeah, really condense it back and talk about this philosophy, this idea called the sprint. And the sprint is really all about those that have paid off their mortgage. They might be 10, 15, 20 years away from retirement. And I know some people might be thinking, who's paying off their mortgage that far from retirement? But they've paid off their mortgage and they've got a period of time where they've got their mortgage repayments and are able to essentially chase financial freedom and save as much as they can before they retire.
Yeah, and this is something that we talk about in a lot of our webinars that we do with businesses and people who are looking at moving into retirement. But it's also a really important point for people who sort of think, I've left it too late, I'm worried about retirement, I haven't done enough, my head was in the sand, and I've that feeling of helplessness, like, what do I do now? So we've got an example here, and this is one example, just using some basic maths. But you can tailor this to fit your situation. And if you think, oh, this doesn't apply to me, this example is too far off my situation, that's a really good time to have a talk to a financial advisor, because this is the sort of work that you can do and really get yourself in a good position. So if you've paid off your mortgage at 50, your repayments, let's say they were $4,000 a fortnight, and you might think that's heaps, that doesn't apply to me, but you can pull this back. Your only asset is your house. Let's say you're saving those mortgage repayments every fortnight until you're 65. So 15 years of diverting those mortgage repayments to savings or in an investment fund. And let's say you put that savings or that investment into a fund with a 4% return. So that's a real return after fees and inflation. You're going to have $2 million by age 65. That can provide you with $120,000 of income per annum for the rest of your life. So that's a really quick breakdown on what a sprint can look like and where it can actually get you in a relatively short period of time.
Yeah, and once again, I just want to emphasize that these numbers will change based off your situation. If your mortgage repayments are only $2,000 a fortnight instead of $4,000, we're still probably talking about $1 million over 15 years. So there's lots you can do in a short period of time. And the sprint is paying off your mortgage is a freaking big deal, isn't it, Mike?
Yeah, it is.
So paying off your mortgage is a big deal. And I completely understand how you'd want to celebrate that. And you know what? You deserve to celebrate it. But there's still lots of work to be done. Your house really isn't an asset unless you're going to pitch a tent in the park somewhere. You need to get to work and continue to save. And the other thing I'd point out is this is a very basic financial plan. Pay off the mortgage, regularly save the mortgage repayments until retirement. There's lots of other things you could do in here. You might have regular savings on top. You might be looking at, you've got a business that you're selling. You might have investment property. You might be thinking about downsizing your home. There's a lot of different variations. This is the way I think about it, as almost the bare minimum, right, Mike?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a really good point that, people do want to take their foot off the gas a little bit when they've paid off their mortgage. And I completely understand why, but I hope that that example just illustrates how absolutely crucial this time is and how much progress you can make. And I guess the amount of sort of income that can generate for you when you're moving out sort of through retirement.
And I also think having your head in the sand, not thinking about retirement, which, to be honest, I do find quite a lot that hitting this age of 50 is when people go kind of, oh crap, what am I going to do? My income's not going to keep coming through forever. It's almost easier to keep your head in the sand because the reality of the situation requires acknowledging where you are now and you working out or somebody telling you where you need to go. But I promise you, the earlier you start, the better off you will be. There is always something you can do now, even if you can't get your overall goal or how much you'd have to save is too aggressive. Starting now, doing something now will help you so much in 5-10 years. And there's so much you can do in what is really quite a short period of time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great. Okay. So as promised, very punchy, we're going to wrap it up. That is the sprint. Take control of your financial future. Once you've paid off that mortgage, get the runners on, go for a jog, plan for retirement, start saving. Before I let you go, make sure if you can give us a subscribe and a like to help us spread the word, tell more people to put the runners on. If you're on Apple, make sure to pop a review on for us, and we'll see you next week.
Cheers.